Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Charlie from Raging Entertainment. I just wanted to let you guys know that I am about to do an interview with an adult film star named Riley Nixon. She has done over 45 films in her career that I have found out so far. If she's done more, she would know that. I don't. I just go off what the internet tells me. And she was very nice enough to do this video with me. And when you guys see me next, you'll be seeing me interviewing her about movies, music, and entertainment. My friend Ben will be joining me, and he'll be asking questions too. He's going to help me kind of record, make sure this whole thing goes as smoothly as it can be. But yeah, let's get to it. Okay, so we are joined with Riley Nixon. She's an adult star. She has done 45 films from what I can find so far. I don't know if that's accurate.
45. I think it's about 170 something.
170? Okay, then.
Nice.
Okay. There we go.
Hey,
at least she corrected me. That's good. Yeah, because the internet can be wrong.
It usually is.
Yes. Well, thank you for joining us.
Yeah, of course.
It's my first time doing it, so I appreciate you giving me the chance to kind of work on this and make sure that I'm doing this right. And it's basically just going to be about music, movies, entertainment. I'm sure Ben's probably got some questions he would probably ask you later on or now. I don't know. But I know that the last time we were trying to talk and reception wasn't that good. You were talking about like what kind of movies you like, genre. Can you refresh on what that was?
Yeah. So many. I feel like let's see. I don't like shows or movies about like serial killers or like super. I mean, I like dark comedies, but like anything super dark and like I don't know.
Give me an example of what you consider dark, I guess.
Well, like I don't know. I feel like everyone lately is obsessed with like true crime podcasts and like things like that. I just like
kind of like how Tiger King came about.
Tiger King, although I did really enjoy Tiger King.
that was dark. I was about to say that was pretty dark.
It was dark, but it was like lighthearted at the same time.
Yeah, like you almost feel empathy for certain people in the documentary. So yeah, that I can understand that.
If I can hazard a guess, I'm assuming you're not a fan of, say, the Saw movies.
That's funny. When I was like 13, I was really interested in the Saw movies because I liked gore.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
But you mentioned the dark Saw,
like, more like realistic, like someone being abducted. Or,
oh, okay. So as long as there's an element of surrealism or fantasy, it's not a problem. But if it's too real and dark, I guess.
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of like the show Law and Order SVU, where it kind of tackles real life situations.
I will not watch any show like that.
CSI. It's funny. I love watching that show. It's one of my favorite dramas of all time, actually.
I like comedies and dramas and like romantic movies. I feel like I like everything else.
What was the last like movie you saw in theaters or just in general?
In theaters, I think the last one was Parasite.
Parasite, was that good?
I loved it.
Okay, because I hadn't seen it yet. I know, I'm the movie buff, and I'm the one who hasn't seen it.
Do you have Hulu? I think it's on Hulu for free right now.
I do have Hulu, so yes, I can watch it on.
You should definitely watch it. It's
amazing.
Awesome. And before that, I saw Little Women.
I saw that one.
I loved it.
I thought it was actually really good. Definitely different from the 90s version with Winona Ryder, Susan Sarandon. Because I ended up loving that one from childhood, of course.
I went into it not knowing anything, and on the way out, I bought the book on the way to the car.
Nice.
Nice.
I really liked it, and I love Timothée Chalamet, so...
What about like classical type of movies, whether it's like, say, from the 30s up to like 80s, 90s?
What do I like? Like classic movies?
Like classic type of movies, whether it be 80s, 60s, 90s, like, what would you like the most?
I grew up, like, the movie that we would watch every year as we decorated the Christmas tree was Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, Christmas tree. I'm surprised.
So
I would think A Christmas Story.
No.
Oh, wow.
I don't know why it was that movie all the time, but I don't know. I love 80s movies.
We had
I do too.
growing
Goonies
up we
all the
had
time.
growing up we had an audio cassette that had a bunch of recorded songs on it, and we had one of those fake plastic trees that we would put together. So our family tradition as kids was the tape was put on, and we hauled out the box with the Christmas tree in it and started putting it together and decorating it and everything. And I know there's a big division between fake trees and real trees, but I personally have a lot of fond memories of that old fake tree because it was the same tree year after year. We me and my sisters knew exactly where we wanted to put everything, so.
Yeah, my great aunt had one of those fake trees that my dad and I would put together. And it was so fun. You get that big box that has like the duct tape on it because it's falling apart and like.
Right.
I
right.
actually have the little loner Charlie Brown Christmas tree.
Aww.
Nice.
But speaking of 80s classics, I do have like Weird Science right here. Do you know that one? You don't know Weird Science? Okay, that I'm a little shocked. I mean, it's two guys, they're nerds. Girls don't really like them. They're not popular. And they get this notion to basically Frankenstein a woman, but through electronics, like through a computer, basically.
Ah.
Yeah, it's really funny. Definitely worth it. It's got Anthony Michael Hall in it, if you know him. He's from The Breakfast Club and like 16 Candles, if you know those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and then I also have The Goonies, if you know The Goonies.
Yes.
It even says Goonies Never Say Die on the back.
I would rent that from Blockbuster all the time.
I love The Goonies. It's one of my favorites. It's supposed to get a 4K this year, too.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Weird Science the older brother? Isn't he the guy that eventually has some major roles in some movies? I'm trying to remember the actor's name.
Bill Paxton, yeah.
Yes.
He was in like Aliens Who Said, we're done, man.
Yeah,
we're
game
done.
over, man, game over.
Yeah. Yeah, no, he was funny. One of my favorite movies he did was actually called Twister. With Helen Hunt.
I remember that one.
I watched that at school.
Oh, you did? There's a good question.
In my medical chemistry class.
Yeah. What movies have you seen in, like, school? Like, whether you've seen them at home already, but then they would play it at school. What movies did you get to watch?
I saw Twister, like, 3 times.
Wow.
We saw Fly Boys at school.
That I'm not familiar with.
It's a James Franco, like, war...
okay. I know of, but I haven't seen it. I remember.
I think I was in 9th grade, and I had a huge crush on my teacher. And then he put on this James Franco movie, and I was so torn, like, do I stare at James Franco, or do I stare at my teacher? What other movies did you watch?
I had a teacher, an English teacher, in 7th grade that I had a crush on, and I would write her poetry on the back of my various assignments.
Oh my god.
Yep.
I've seen Braveheart in middle school, high school. Like a few times. That's actually one of my favorite movies too, Mel Gibson.
I've never watched it, but it's one that I've put on Netflix years ago when I was going to leave the house because I knew it was long enough that it would look like I was home watching something.
Yeah. Well, it's definitely worth the watch if you haven't really like watched it. You know, it's long, yes, but it's definitely worth it. Were you ever a Game of Thrones fan?
I've seen like 2 seasons of it. I really enjoyed it, and then I don't know what happened.
Well, I wouldn't say it's as extreme as Game of Thrones, but it definitely has its like visuals where like people get their hands cut off and heads and everything too. But it's a very good story about William Wallace, the guy who actually did fight for Scotland's freedom. So it's really good.
Which, fun fact, by the way, Charlie, very, very distant. My family's related.
Really?
Yes.
That's
nice.
Yeah.
I'm related to Stephen Foster, the guy who sang Camptown Races, sings this song.
Nice. Yeah. William Wallace, John Smith, not the fake John Smith in the Disney movies, but the real John Smith who was a little tyrant piece of crap. And also
like Chris Columbus.
And also Edgar Allan Poe is like a distant uncle.
Interesting.
Oh wow.
Yeah. My family on my.
I'm related to Stephen Foster, apparently President Warren Harding, and 23andMe, when it first started doing its thing, said that I was related to a king, but I didn't recognize the name.
I'm related to one of King Henry VIII's wives.
I think it was a Henry. No, Louis. Sorry, King Louis. I think that was the name. I can't even remember anymore.
Yeah, my family on my mom's side particularly are really big on the history, family history, and family trees and all that.
Mm-hmm. I'm very into the ancestry stuff, knowing what my background is. Have you ever gotten to try that, Riley? Like, get to know what you're actually made up of?
Yeah, I'm mostly Eastern European. My mom's side of the family is mostly Ukrainian. And
I'm
then
Northern.
dad's side is like English, Irish, Welsh.
I can see that.
0.1% Ashkenazi Jew.
Yeah, my sister and I was weird when we compared ours. Hers said that she had some type of Jewish blood in her, but yet mine didn't say that. So it's like
it's the genetic shuffling,
inherited
basically.
different genes from different family members. So that was kind of cool.
There's actually a splash. Go ahead.
I just think it's all fascinating. I was so excited to find out.
I've got a small splash of Indian blood in my family history. Now, whether or not I actually got any, I don't know. I haven't done the genetic testing thing yet, but I suspect I do because the men on both sides of the family are growing full beards by the time they're 18, and this is it. And I still just shave with water and a razor, and I'm approaching 40, so I don't think I'm ever going to get a beard. But I got the mustache.
I did.
I got a mustache that makes Charlie jealous, so there's that.
Ben, did you have any questions for her?
Well, let's see. Earlier you were mentioning during your introduction 175 movies?
Something like that.
And
I mean,
as a curiosity, how long since your career started to the I guess to the last movie? How?
January 2016 was when I formally entered the industry.
Mm-hmm.
But I did have one scene that was like a few months before that I found on Craigslist. But yeah, the first 2 years I shot a lot, and then the second 2 years not so much.
Okay.
And I mostly shoot for myself now, but the industry is shut down right now.
I would imagine with COVID-19.
2.5 months, I guess. My last professional shoot was in January, and had been like several months since I had shot for a company. I mainly shoot with other performers, like as a trade, and we just both get the content and can do whatever we want with it.
Okay.
Who do you personally know in the industry, like actor-wise?
My best friend is Zoe Sparks, Zoesparx. Used to go by Andy Rye.
Oh, okay.
Went through a brand metamorphosis.
Yeah.
I'm good friends with like Nora Nova, Kristen Scott, Anna Fox.
I think I know Anna Fox.
She's beautiful. She's chocolate and
yeah. Because I remember you mentioned about Joanna Angel, like helping on a film you did or something like that.
Joanna?
Yeah.
I've shot for her several times.
Several. Okay.
She owns Burning Angel, or she runs Burning Angel. So I've done a few Burning Angel scenes, and then she also directed a film for Penthouse. So, and that was a film about me. I was like the main character in it, so that was cool.
Nice.
Really, really long days though.
Well, I dedicate this movie to you only because this is a classic woman from like the 80s and 90s who was a host to do movies at night. And that's Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
Those titties are so pretty.
I know. I recently watched it not long ago, and you see so much like sexual innuendos that you didn't really recognize when you were a kid, you know?
Love it.
Yeah, I love that movie to death. It's one of my favorite movies. And then Ben, I know he was telling me one of his recent movies that he had enjoyed from this last year actually was Joker.
Really enjoyed Joker.
I did not watch it.
Ooh, psychological thriller.
Considering what we discussed earlier in your taste of movies, you may or may not like it because it is.
feel like I would like it. I just
It's very
You would.
real. It's very real, but I like it because it's a more realistic take on a
On the
fictitious
DC universe.
villain, you know. So it's good. It's really good.
I did see Birds of Prey.
Haven't
I
watched
just
that yet.
watched that one too.
I had never seen, like, I didn't see Justice League or anything,
It's okay.
but I
Haven't seen
really
that yet.
enjoyed it. I thought it was very entertaining, and the music was great.
Mhm.
Costumes were great.
I'm actually buying soundtracks of the movies that I grew up with. So I got like Labyrinth, Lost Boys, Weird Science, Never Ending Story, quite a bit.
That's fun.
Oh yeah, I just been on this kick lately to wanting to get the movie soundtracks because I've always loved the music, but I've never actually hunt for the music. So I'm glad that there are CDs out there that I can actually grab.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah.
I listened to I don't know if you've ever seen Steven Universe, but I'm obsessed with all the music from Steven Universe. It's a Cartoon Network.
It's Cartoon Network. Okay.
It's
Since you mentioned Hulu earlier, did you ever hear of Solar Opposites?
I just recently started watching it. I like it.
It's funny.
I'm yet to be like it doesn't, like, I'm not like, I gotta watch another one.
Yeah.
You know?
Same here. It's like I've only watched one episode and I haven't watched it since. And because I was like, well, what is this show? I mean, like, yeah, it's funny, but it's also kind of weird at the same time. Like, do I want to keep watching?
I think
There's
I watched
a lot of shows like that.
3 episodes.
Oh, 3 episodes?
Yeah. And I start cooking and I just like got distracted.
Background noise.
But I'm watching What We Do in the Shadows, and I just finished season 3 of Westworld, and last night I finished season 5 of Schitt's Creek. And
there's another good question. What shows have you seen all the way through, like, series-wise?
Weeds, Breaking Bad, Lost.
Lost was very popular.
I loved Lost. I was along for the ride. Like, people complain about the writing changing, and like, I'm just happy that I got it somewhat tied up in the character, you know.
I've seen every episode of Boy Meets World.
I have only seen a couple episodes.
Really?
And now Maitland's doing porn.
Wait, who?
Maitland, the redhead from the college episodes.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Wait, I didn't know she was doing porn. I know that she did some modeling, but I didn't see anything about videos.
Yeah, she's been in a year now, I think. She's contracted to the Vixen Media Group, so she's doing like Deeper with Caden Cross, like Vixen, Black Raw, and she just got a fleshlight.
Oh.
She's just wiping the floor.
I remember at one point, when they were doing Boy Meets World, there was talk of when they were going to do the live-action Scooby-Doo of who was going to play Velma. Or was it Daphne? I can't remember who the redhead is.
That's Daphne.
Yeah, that's Daphne.
Velma's brunette.
Like, she would have been perfect for Daphne, for the height and the red hair and everything.
Yeah, she's beautiful.
And I hear she's really sweet, actually. I haven't met her, but I've heard that she is really nice.
She seems really nice. I went to a panel she did at XBiz in January, and with Caden Cross, and they just talked about the movies that they've made in the last year, and she's won awards already, and yeah, she's very smart and beautiful and seems very nice. But I haven't heard.
Nice. Yeah. Anything else you got for her, Ben? Before we go?
I'm sure I could come up with a bunch more, but you know. I guess what's it like when you go out in public? You know, do you ever get anybody recognize you or any stuff like that? Awkward moments, I'm assuming.
In 4 years, I've only been approached like 3 times.
Okay.
In public. I don't count like AVN because everyone's there to see porn. Like it's
Yeah, like red carpet events and shit.
Right.
But I really like it right now. Even though I don't really get recognized, I like being incognito, and it's fun wearing a mask out in public. I have my hat on and my sunglasses and my mask, and I'm just like...
And sometimes you wear a wig too, right?
Invisible. No. I only wear wigs for Halloween now.
Oh, okay.
But I've been recognized. The last time I was recognized was a girl, and she had seen me at IKEA, and then she saw me at a grocery store after, and I was really high, and I was really awkward, and I saw you at IKEA, and then I didn't want to say anything, and then I'm here with my boyfriend, and he said, I have to go say hi because it's a sign that I saw you in 2 places today.
Yeah.
And then someone at Best Buy, I ran in to buy an emergency battery for my phone. And I like ran up to this employee like, I need a battery. And he's like, oh my God, hi, I love you so much. I'm like, oh my gosh, I just need a battery.
I don't know. It's
now.
funny. I try not to do that because I don't want to come off like that to people that are in films, music, or whatever. I've met a good fair share of celebrities. I've actually met Dave Coulier, who played Joey Gladstone on Full House. He was actually really nice. And J.J. Walker, who played on Good Times, the Dynamite. And I've met musicians like Five Finger Death Punch. I've met them all. They were actually really nice guys. The singer of Machine Head. I could name a few more, but yeah, most of the time, whenever I've met them, I never get all super fan. It was just more like, nice to meet you, stuff like that. That way they don't feel uncomfortable.
I think I caught the guy off guard. I literally like ran up to him.
Well, it was funny how I met the singer of Machine Head because I was working at Blockbuster, and this was in the Bay Area where I used to live at the time. He came in and he rented some movies, and I said, "Has anyone told you got a familiar face?" And he goes, "Why?" And I'm like, "Well, because you look like someone, that's in a band and stuff." And he's like, "Well, it's possible I might be that person." And then, of course, I'm thinking that he's just bullshitting me and going on about it. And I text my friend Nick. I'm like, "Hey, what's the singer of the band Machine Head's name?" And he goes, "Rob Flynn." And I look at the thing, and it says, "Rob Flynn." And I'm like, "Dude, he just rented Shrek and Social Network."
Fuck, I love Shrek. It's time
I
to
do
watch
too.
Shrek.
Well, I know that we're getting close to the end of this because I know we all got to do stuff throughout the day, but I wanted to throw out that my all-time favorite movie is The Crow. Brandon Lee. The movie came out in 94. Sadly, Brandon Lee passed away during the making in 1993. What do you guys have for favorite movies?
Well, if I can comment on that particular movie, for years, especially before I started growing any facial hair, a lot of people thought I looked very much like Brandon Lee. As a matter of fact, I think you were one of the people who first mentioned that, maybe. Does that sound familiar vaguely?
Met you probably, because you didn't really have the facial hair going.
I didn't have any facial hair.
And you had the trench coat on.
Oh, yeah, big leather trench coat down on my ankles, yeah.
Yep. What about you, Riley? What's your favorite movie, or do you not have a actual favorite?
Man, I get this question a lot, and I have a really hard time answering it. I don't know if I could pick
I don't do favorites.
Favorite movie. Like, there's too many. But in the last, year, definitely Midsummer and Parasite.
Oh, I have Midsommar. Well, I thought it was pronounced Midsommar because of the way it's spelled.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, maybe, but I
mean, because it's not actually spelled midsummer. It's got a somar look. Yes. Like it's supposed to be in foreign language. And I have that. I need to watch that too.
You haven't watched it?
But I bought it. I have it.
Yeah, Midsummer and then Parasite, or I don't know which one. Which one's first?
I'll watch both, and I'll let you know my thoughts on them.
Oh,
along the lines of his question, perhaps refining that a little, what would you say is a movie that you would strongly recommend people see?
Probably Parasite.
No, I don't mean just recently. I mean, like, out of all the movies you've seen, what's a movie that is like one of those movies that you would really recommend for one reason or another? Like for me,
are you asking me or Riley though?
Riley. For me, I would probably recommend, out of a lot of the movies I've seen over the years, one of the really great ones is Labyrinth,
Is it this
in
one?
my opinion. Serenity's very good too, yes. But Labyrinth with David Bowie.
Oh, yes.
I haven't seen that. I should watch that.
I actually had a couple friends that had never seen or even heard of David Bowie until I showed them that, and it was December just before he passed away.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
So-
yeah. I think you would love the music too, Riley, because it,
Oh, I'm sure.
like, you remind me of the babe. What babe? The babe with the power. What power? The power of voodoo. Voodoo. You do. What remind me of the babe?
That's a popular song on TikTok right now.
Is it?
But that's
don't know
one
what
of the
it's
songs
from.
from. Yeah.
I think a movie that I would recommend. It's like a weird movie, and I don't know if it's like the best. It's obviously not the best movie I've ever seen, but
Doesn't have to be.
Gentlemen Broncos is a great movie.
That sounds familiar.
It stars Jermaine Clement from Flight of the Conchords.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I think I know of it.
It's this kid. It's this kid in high school, and he loves writing science fiction. And this author steals his story and publishes it. And the movie is it follows this kid in the real world, and he's trying to make the book into a movie, like super low budget. And on the other hand, it's like his story being played out in this other world, and it's really bizarre and like.
Sounds similar to one of the movies that recently came out last year. I think it was called Blinded by the Light.
The
Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah, I just recently watched that.
Is it similar to that?
No.
No. Okay. The way you were describing it sounded like it was.
No, it's very bizarre.
Okay.
And like sci-fi fantasy at the same time.
Okay.
It's really good. I definitely recommend that one.
Yeah.
Nice.
Have you,
Sci-fi fantasy.
another one I'd recommend would be Chasing Amy. It's a Kevin Smith flick.
Yes.
Yeah, it's a really good, heartwarming type of movie, you know. But and then you want to talk about weird flicks, though. You ever seen John Dies at the End?
No.
Oh wow.
You mean John Tucker?
No. John Dies at the End. That's what it's called.
Oh, there was another movie that had the same type of title.
Yep. John Dies at the End. Really friggin' weird.
John Tucker Must Die.
John Tucker Must Die.
John Dies at the it's different though. Let's see. John Dies at the End. Oh, this looks weird.
It's really weird. It's weird. If you want to watch a really good weird flick where you're sitting here watching this going, why am I watching this? That's the kind of movie you want to watch.
Oh, Ben, you should tell her about the Hugo Weaving, I believe the last name was, in that drag movie.
Priscilla, Queen of the Desert.
The cover for
Okay.
Gentlemen Broncos.
Definitely have to check that out.
Dynamite people.
Definitely have to check that out.
It's so good.
Definitely have to check that out.
But what was it called again? Priscilla what?
Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Have you ever heard or seen that one, Riley?
No, Priscilla.
Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. It stars Hugo Weaving long before he became popular in The Matrix and Elrond in Lord of the Rings.
He plays the guy who played Agent Smith.
Yeah. He plays as a drag queen who travels with a couple other drag queens and a tranny, and they all are heading across Australia to go, unbeknownst to the others, they're going to go see his wife and son. It's a really good movie, really funny, heartwarming, you know. Yeah, really good.
That would be one he would
definitely. But yeah, I cannot take Hugo Weaving seriously anymore whenever I see him in anything, because I half expect him to start singing ABBA in drag.
There you go.
Fabulous!
Oh, Birdcage with Robin Williams.
That was good too.
Yeah. All right. Well, I know that we're basically running out of time here because we need to let Riley go because I'm sure she's got stuff she needs to do. And Ben, I know you do too. So, yeah. But again, Riley, thank you for joining the interview and stuff like that. And I'll definitely post links down below to her Instagram, OnlyFans, and whatever social media she has. That way, you guys can go check her out. Is there anything that you have upcoming that you want to tell anybody?
I mean, everything's shut down right now, but my OnlyFans is popping right now. OnlyFans.com/RileyNixon_. and I don't know, buy my used underwear on my website. Stop right
Awesome.
Is that a decent business there, or?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. Would not have
You'd be
guessed.
surprised.
They come with a Polaroid.
This is what they looked like before they were off. Yeah.
Before and after.
Yeah, before and after.
All right.
Well,
Well, it was great meeting you.
Good
And
meeting you.
we are at time here, so.
Yep. Super grateful.
Patience.
And you enjoy the rest of your day.
Thank you.
Stay safe out there.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.